Well, good evening. We made it to Friday night. Woohoo! Boy, it's been a long week, hasn't it, Sean?
Yes, it has.
Yes, it has. You know, and we've also been talking about this weather change, about having, you know, the potential for rain yesterday and today, and then a beautiful weekend with a warm up, and you've got a little closer, more accurate timeline for what we can expect.
I think the only fly in the ointment the weekend is going to be, there's going to be some fog developing tonight. It might not be widespread, but pockets of dense fog tomorrow morning, and then after that, we're going to be burning here. So we're
turning and burning.
Temperature is going to be climbing. Let me show you live Doppler 13 radar here. We had some spotty but heavy storms that had popped up here. One that went right through the northern and northeastern side of Marion County. Now everything's settling down. That upper low we've talked about for several days, now moving out. Let's talk about Saturday. So after we get through the fog, these are the temperatures here. Anywhere from near 80 in Richmond, 82 in Indy. Keeping in mind that our average high temperature tomorrow is 68 degrees. We are going to be way above that, and we'll get there rather quickly. By 11 o'clock, we're already at our average temp. Rest of the weekend looks warm. If you're traveling, if you're hitting the road for fall break here, these are Sunday forecast highs. We will near a record in Indianapolis, which is 88. And again, we'll be near a record on Monday. So this is a long stretch of above average temperatures. By this time next week, we might get close to average, but in between now and then, and those are forecast highs. That doesn't take into account the overnight lows, because we should be, the average low temperature is in the 40s.
Wow.
Our lows are going to be closer to the average high. Are you with me on that?
Yeah.
So just all these different ways to kind of put this into perspective here.
Yeah.
So it is going to be a long stretch of warm days here.
Yeah, it's interesting to think that what you feel in the middle of the night would be the typical high.
There you go.
You know.
There you go.
So, oh my goodness. All right. So the people that have pools that have not closed them.
Hit the lake?
Yeah.
You know, I'm more of a, if I'm going to Brown County, I'd rather it be kind of crisp. But, you know, not a bad weekend for it. There's all kinds of events this weekend. We're going to touch on a handful of them at 11. We can't do them all.
Right.
But we're going to touch on a handful of them at 11 o'clock here. You don't have to worry about the weather. Weather's going to be nice. Just again, early tomorrow morning, maybe some fog around. But other than that, the weekend just looks nice.
Great. Yeah. Some of the ones that I thought were interesting were the Covered Bridge Festival.
Yes.
Pacers Fan Jam, which is a free event all day on Sunday. The Children's Museum has their haunted house that's opening tomorrow.
German Fest downtown.
Oh, Oktoberfest. That's right.
Yeah, and Barktoberfest. Indy's Homecoming.
Harvest Lights.
Yes.
Zubu.
Yeah, I mean, it's that time of year.
Right, right. I love this time of year. And you know, if you do go down to Brown County, are you thinking about doing that tomorrow?
I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or Sunday, but I thought, you know, it might. Yeah, we haven't been down there since I was just looking through pictures to use for a background image.
Yeah.
I bet it's been a year.
Yeah.
And the last time we were down there, it was a spectacular weather day.
Oh.
It was on a Sunday, because it's all coming back to me now, but I want to say it was last fall. Went down there on a Sunday before I came into work, and the bluest sky, nice, comfortable, great for hiking. So we're thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, you know, I spent a lot of time at Fort Bend over the pandemic, because it's near my house on the northeast side, and you know, we were hiking in there, and I found that even, you know, when we have these higher temperatures, if you're hiking in the woods, you know, and you've got the tree cover, it is cool in there, you know, and it's pretty to look up and see the sun coming through the leaves and the different colors with the blue sky. You could get some really cool
Felt
pictures.
That last weekend. We were at Fort Bend last weekend.
Yeah,
so
I love Fort Bend.
Fort Bend's great. Eagle Creek's great. Of course, Turkey Run. And what's the park right before Turkey Run? Is it Mounds?
Yes, Mount State Park.
Mounds. And you know, they got the punch bowl. So you talk about cooling off. It's a nice place to cool off.
Yeah, you got all those rock formations in there. All right, well, You know, we do have this Verify project that we have not only here at Channel 13 WTHR, but also with Tegna. And we get lots of questions from viewers about all kinds of things about, is this true? I see this on social media. Can this really be the case? And can you look into it? And we do that. And we want to help you be able to separate fact from fiction. And maybe, you know, a lot of these things have a little bit of truth, but then some of it that's not. And one question that we got that I just thought this has to be a joke, but people were saying that they saw on social media that there was a law that was being proposed that would require a vaccine for men when they turn 40. And people were saying, is this really true? Well, this is really an interesting story, and Bob Siegel looked into it. Here's what he found when we verify this.
Social media has been lighting up with claims that a Pennsylvania state lawmaker is proposing a bill that would force men to get a vasectomy at age 40. Is that true? Our source for this is Chris Rabb, a state representative from Philadelphia. Turns out, yes. Last week, the Pennsylvania lawmaker did announce plans to introduce this bill, but it is meant as a parody. Rabb distributed a memo that says, I will be introducing legislation that will require all inseminators to undergo vasectomies within 6 weeks from having their third child or 40th birthday, whichever comes first. And he said the law would include a $10,000 reward for turning in men who do not comply. But the Democratic representative told our sister station in Harrisburg he knows the bill is absurd and would never get a real hearing. He said it was intended as a parody of the restrictive abortion law recently passed in Texas, and also meant to highlight a double standard.
It's somehow okay for the government to invade the uteruses of women and girls, but it should be off limits if you propose vasectomies or anything that restricts the reproductive rights of men.
Some Republican lawmakers in Pennsylvania do not see the humor in Rabb's proposal.
That's something that's done in communist China and not something that we should even be considering here.
One angry state representative posted on Facebook, as a fourth-born child myself, I would have never existed under this law, and neither would so many others. So, has this vasectomy bill been proposed? Yes, we can verify that is true. But social media posts suggesting it is a real attempt to legally require men to get a vasectomy, that is false. The proposal was meant strictly as parody. See something on social media you'd like us to verify? Send us an email to verify@WTHR.com.
All right, so there you have it. Let's talk a little bit about Operation Football. This is week 8 for Operation Football. And, you know, there were a lot of big matchups tonight that we've been following. But one of the teams that was in action tonight was in Westfield, the Shamrocks. And the kicker of that team happens to be Caleb. He would love to play in college, and he's really talented at kicking. But he's using his platform also to help others. He is inspiring Indiana. Here's Taylor Tannenbaum.
Every Friday night when Westfield kicker Caleb King steps into the spotlight, there's a lot resting on his shoulders.
My pressure on a 40-yard field goal or whatever is nothing the same.
Yeah, that kind of pressure is nothing compared to what kids with cancer face every day.
I mean, it's absolutely nowhere near. I mean, like, just for example, me when I was a little kid, I could go outside and ride my bike every day, and kids don't get to do that. They have to sit in a hospital, and yeah, you may have people come through and try to cheer him up, just not the same. So
that's why for every point King scores this season, he's donating money to Alex's Lemonade Stand, a charity for childhood cancer.
Like, thinking about after last game, I had 9 points, so it's really just a big deal to think about that after and think I really just raised $90.
King has already tallied 32 points, and there's still plenty of season left for the Shamrocks. A few weeks ago, I introduced you to 6-year-old London Hoffman, a huge Westfield football fan, currently tackling rhabdomyosarcoma. Her story and others in the community provide a constant reminder for King every time he connects with the pigskin.
Getting to learn about them through the community has been great. Like London Hoffman, just like her story, so inspiring to see how she's fighting and still going through all the difficult stuff.
The character that Caleb has and the heart, right? So we're here to outwork and outlove, and what a better behavior to outlove than really try to help someone in need and someone in suffering. So for our community to rally for Caleb is really indirectly us rallying for the players and parents in our program who really have struggled with cancer recently.
As a senior, King could easily just focus on winning a state title and his future on the football field. He hopes to kick in college too. But he's choosing to also focus on kids with cancer and spread a message along the way.
I would say lead by example. Just make sure that you're using your gifts for good. There's a lot of bad in the world, and someone's got to try and brighten it up.
And that's the biggest win of all. In Westfield,
God's gave me a gift, so might as well use it for good.
I'm Taylor Tannenbaum.
How awesome is that?
Yep.
You know, it's interesting. I've gone up there and done a couple stories with the Shamrock football coach and some of the players there. They really have a unique program. They put together a night to support breast cancer awareness, and they have had kids and players and moms and people that are associated with the football team really deal with some health issues, and they've dealt with some losses there. And I think you see how they come together as a community and support one another, and it's also leading to this awareness beyond yourself when we see things like what Caleb is doing. And you got to give kudos to that coach, you know, because he's creating that environment.
And that's where it starts. Yeah, absolutely. What was his line? I have a gift.
From God.
Yeah. And so you see how he's sharing that gift.
Right,
so.
right. Well, there is always that challenge, you know, that you have time, you have talent, and you have treasure, and how are you using it to invest and make the world a better place or to help other people. So let's see what your comments are here tonight. We say hello to Nicholas Adams. Women talking about the weather. Talk about a headline. I don't know what that is. Okay. Donnie, hello. Thanks for watching us online. And
Michelle says perfect riding weather. I agree with you there.
yes.
Wes checking in. We appreciate you, brother.
Joy says my gas bill likes those temperatures. So,
And Carol up in Macy. Hey, Carol. Thanks for checking in.
yeah. So it's Friday night, and I know a lot of times we count down to Friday, and it's really like, what do you want to do with the weekend? And we hope that when you see the forecast that Sean is talking about, this wonderful weather that we have, and hopefully you have some time off when you can
Take the TV outside.
Yeah, but be mindful. Leave the screen somewhere, you know, and be mindful about how you spend your time so that you can be refreshed and get back at it and really be your best you. Thanks for watching tonight. For Sean, I'm Ann. We're going to be here at 11 o'clock over on Channel 13. We certainly hope that you tune in. Good night.